So good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today I'm joined by Henri Sattler. You may know him from God Dethroned. And we're here to talk about the new album, the Judas Paradox, that's coming out on September the 6th. So first of all, before everything, Henri, how are you today?
Hello, man. Thanks for having me on your interview. I'm doing fine. I'm doing a lot of interviews nowadays. A lot of promotion for the new album. So yeah, it's going all right, I guess. And I'm looking forward to the new European tour and everything.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I listened to the album, and of course, this album, it's a very, obviously the concept of the record is you're looking at Judas as in the point of view that he was a scapegoat, that you always need a scapegoat to, like, where something goes wrong, it's his fault. And obviously, in this case, we pick Judas, who obviously, for everyone who studied that, know that Judas was the guy who, like, like he, everyone knows what Judas did. So I know that you've written about religion for many years now. How do you keep, like, that, doing the topics and bringing something new to the table so many years later, because you've been doing this since the 1990s.
Yeah, I know. Well, sometimes it's a challenge to find new topics. Sometimes it's a challenge to find something that I haven't done before, or something that has not been done before at all by anyone. So for this album, to speak about Judas, I thought about what if he was just a scapegoat, but he was maybe innocent, and that was just a thought. So I start doing research, just read on the internet what can I find about it, and I found out that there's two stories in the Bible about Judas. One is the story that everybody knows, that he's the betrayer. But there's also another story where it is explained that Jesus could look into the future, and therefore Judas did not act in free will. He was basically the subject of a plan that was made already, and he could not escape it. He had to do what was going to happen because Jesus already knew it. So I wrote a song about that, looking from the point of view of Judas, saying that, hey, I was one of the 12 disciples. I really liked it. I liked Jesus. He was like a brother to me. And still, I was the betrayer. How could this happen? And then Jesus explains to him in the song, saying, yes, you were my friend, but this needed to happen, and you were the chosen one. So in the song, it is explained, according to one of the stories in the Bible, that Judas did not act in free will, but he was basically forced to do this. And so he was innocent and not the perpetrator. And that's something I wanted to come across. I wanted people to know.
I think didn't, like, also the Romans had maybe family from him or something. Like, there had to be something that they had to have the leverage or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring this story because I found it very fascinating when I found out about it. And the thing is, I have to come up with new stories for every album, and it's about 9-10 songs every album, so it's quite a challenge. And of course, not all the songs have to deal with Christianity, or not all the songs have to deal with religion. There's also things about Egyptian mythology, about Freemasonry, about the Illuminati, about the dark side of whatever you want to think of. So there's a lot of things I can use to write songs about for God Dethroned. But yeah, it's this is album number 13, so it's I've been writing quite a lot of lyrics in my lifetime.
Yeah.
So the challenge for the next album will even be bigger.
well, you could do like a 180 and it's write about something like totally different that you never done before, and people will be like, oh, he's writing about something different. So
Yeah.
So yeah, and you start this album obviously with the song about Judas, and then you have the other single that's out right now, because you have two singles that people can. It's the Rat Kingdom.
Yeah.
So what's Rat Kingdom about? Because is the album? I think the album is not just about Judas, but Judas is a big part of the album, right?
Well, Judas, you will find out about Judas in at least 2 songs, but it's not that the whole album is about Judas. Not at all. Red Kingdom is about the secrets in the Vatican. Everybody
Mm.
knows that inside the Vatican are so many secrets that will never see the light of day,
Because
because
it would destroy their religion. Yeah.
everybody knows that there are things inside that building, that are so secret that nobody can know about it. So I did not describe what it is, but I described the situation in the song Red Kingdom, about the mysteries in the Vatican, and you can never get to it, and you can never get it out. And if you do find it, you will not live to tell about it. That's
No,
what the
I'm
song
sure.
Red Kingdom is about.
Yeah, no, that is very true. And I've been to the Vatican, and it's basically like a palace full of riches. They're not living like Jesus said that they should live, because it's a very nice palace. It's a country within Italy. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. So how do, like, what Henry? What's your, when you're writing songs and getting into, what the themes that you want to talk on God Dethroned, what is the process, your writing process looks like?
Well, I have a very interesting writing process. Usually, I come up with a title. I have a title in my mind that I like. When I have a title, I think of a picture. So I have a title, and it could be a title for a movie, and I have a picture in my head that that fits to the title, and the picture in my head tells me what kind of music I have to write. If I see a picture, I also know what kind of music. Is it a slow song? Is it a fast song? Is it a melodic song? Is it an aggressive song? I know because I see something in front of my eyes. Then I start writing music. I play the guitar. I compose the song, and then when the song is finished, then I compose the vocal melody, and then I write the lyrics. So I start with the title. I have a picture. Then I write the music, and then the lyrics. That's how I work.
Yeah, well, the Judas Paradox, out of all the titles of songs, I think, yeah, that's a great title. Like
Yeah.
it pops up, you see that title, and like, yeah, it's you want a title that really grabs the attention of
Yeah.
whoever wants to buy the album or
Yeah.
listen to the music.
That's exactly what I mean. I had the title in my head, the Judas Paradox, and then immediately you think of a movie. I think of a movie, and I have a picture in my head, and then the music comes.
Yeah, plus the music video for the Judas Paradox song, it's pretty visual. Obviously, you have the Last Supper, and you have the band is playing, and it's more in black and white. So yeah, it's pretty. It's like a mini movie, and that's what
Yeah.
music videos should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you paid a lot of attention to detail on that one. So the artwork for the album also is pretty impressive. So I want to show it so we can talk about the artwork, because it's a very striking artwork. So here's the artwork for the album. So tell me a little bit about what inspired the artwork, and like, because obviously it looks like a painting that you would see in the Vatican or in a lot of museums I've been to in Europe.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, this is a painting you will see in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam.
In
This
which
is a
museum in
painting.
Amsterdam?
Yeah. This one is in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. This is a real painting that we used as an album cover. I had a certain idea in my mind for an album cover. I wanted a pen drawing, like a biblical pen drawing, for the new album. So I told the guy who always is involved with our artwork, I said to him, I want a pen drawing that fits to the song and it should be biblical, blah, blah, blah. And he said, what do you think of this? And then he came up with this idea. Of course, the colors are different, but the picture you see is the painting, The Fall of the Rebel Angels. It's a painting that's in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, which is the museum in the Netherlands.
I didn't go to that museum when I went to Amsterdam.
Well, if you go there, you will find this
I have
painting.
to return. I went to the Van Gogh Museum.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this painting you can find in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And yeah, it just fits the whole concept of the Judas Paradox. So that's why we used it.
No, yeah, it's great imagery and you know, like it really it fits the music. And obviously you put a different color to it. When you're doing artwork, it's like a painting that's like do you have to ask permission to use that painting or like, because I'm not sure how that goes.
It's very simple. What we have to do is tell the people who painted it. So everybody who buys a CD, it's in the booklet. You can find in the booklet who painted it and when it was painted and who did it and when he lived and what time period, and that is from the Rijksmuseum. So all the credits for the painter are in the CD booklet.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. So are you like a fan of all that art? Have you always been a fan of art as well, besides the music?
Yeah, but not all the time. It's not like I mean, I go to museums. I love to see the paintings. Like a year and a half ago, I went to the Louvre in Paris.
I've been there too. Yeah,
it's stunning. I mean, you need 4 days to check out, the basics. I was there for 1 day, so it's like I made a choice. I want to see this and I want to see that, and the rest I will just forget because it's impossible. It's so big. You can be there you can be in there for 2 weeks and not have seen everything. But at least I saw, of course, the Mona Lisa. I finished my day with seeing the Mona Lisa. I wanted to see that painting. It's
not very impressive when you see it in person.
I think it's a mistake. It is very impressive. What's so disappointing about the whole thing is everybody wants to see it. So you enter the room, there's too many people, so you have to see the painting from a distance. And then you think, oh, it's not very big. But when you're close, it is actually a pretty big painting. For a portrait, it's a pretty big painting. But for a painting which is in a huge room with 2,000, well, maybe 500 people in the room watching the same painting, you think like, oh, it's a bit small. But everything's out of proportion. But what I like about it is the fact that no matter where you stand in the room, she always looks at you. It's
true.
You
can always, that is true. It looks like, even if you're walking, it looks like she's looking at you. That is true.
Yeah. I don't know how Da Vinci did that, but he managed to paint her eyes in a way that no matter where you are, she looks at you. And that's so fascinating. And of course, it's just a portrait of a girl. And it's on a piece of canvas that's maybe, I don't know, it's not super big, but it's also not super small. But because the story about the painting is so big, you also expect a huge painting. And that's not true. It's just a normal painting. It's in a huge room and there's too many people standing in front of you. And that's the biggest disappointment, I think.
And they're like in the back, there's like a huge painting that takes the whole wall. I can't remember, but you know what? There was a huge painting that was in the back, but I can't remember that painting, but I can remember the Mona Lisa. So yeah, no, but I went there too. I went twice because I've been to Paris twice. So I went 2 times. So, but I spent like 5 hours, I think, or something. I don't know how much, but yeah, you can never look at everything.
No. But to come back to your question, do I like art? Yes, I do. But it's not like I'm in a museum every week or something. No, not like that.
not your plan, but so but yeah, like the artwork for this is, it very complements the music. So, and you talk about like different themes on this album, which is interesting, because you have, I think you talk about, if I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think there's songs about about Egypt here and about like some other mythologies as well within this record. Right now, besides the two singles that you have, is there like do you have like a track on this album also that you think that is your favorite, or that also would you have like a third single if you can pick, or is there a third single coming maybe upon release date?
There is a third single coming this week.
Oh,
There's
okay.
on Friday there is The Hanged Man is the third single. The Hanged Man. It's
Nice.
gonna be out this Friday, and yeah,
It's interesting that the singles are song 1, 2, and 3
yeah.
on
Well,
the
yeah,
album.
it's interesting because the record company, um, of course, they had a certain idea in mind about which is a favorite song, etc., etc. We changed it a little bit because we felt a little bit different about it. But then I asked the record company, which songs do you want to use as a single? And then they said, okay, we want first Red Kingdom, then the Judas Paradox, and the third single should be The Hanged Man. And after the European tour, there will be a fourth single. And I will keep it a secret for now which
Okay.
song that will be. But The Hanged Man is single number 3, which is also one of my favorite songs because it's like a real death metal headbanger, very melodic, with great guitar solos played by Dave, our lead guitar player. In that, especially in that song, it's like Dave Murray from Iron Maiden is playing the solos in our song. That's how good that song is. So that will be out this Friday. And then when the album comes out on September 6th, there will be a focus track, as they call it, a focus track, and there will be Hubris Anorexia, which was the first song that I wrote for the album. And the song is about being in confinement, and you cannot escape unless you take an injection. And this is basically my story about the pandemic, about the COVID pandemic.
It makes sense, yeah.
Where in this country you could not move around freely unless you would take an injection. I did it. I wanted to move around freely. I wanted to go to a shop. I wanted to go wherever I wanted to. So I was forced to take injections, to take vaccinations. But the vaccinations made me very, very ill. I've been ill for a couple of years because of the vaccinations. And they said everything was perfectly safe, but that's not true. They were just trying to force you to take vaccinations. And they just said, yeah, it's totally safe, but it was not. So this song is about being in prison almost, and you can only get out if you do what we say, if you take vaccinations. Just listen to the song and you will hear what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I listened to the record, but yeah, no, and I know I got the vaccinations too, and because of the booster, because I got like shingles, because apparently that if you had smallpox, that those boosters it could accelerate. So I remember I got like a really bad case of shingles. The other things I didn't get ill, but I just got that. So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, because you didn't know. Yeah, it was like that, or like you can't go out. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
I know.
but yeah.
The thing is that the people who had questions, the people who asked the government, is this all safe? They said, yeah, it's perfectly safe. And the people who said, well, I don't believe you, then they would say about those people, oh, they are the crazy people. They are the people who want to disturb our society. But the crazy people, they were right, because the crazy people knew that something was wrong. Now we have 3% of the population is ill because of the vaccinations. 3% doesn't sound like many people, but in our small country, that
In your
means that
country, yeah.
in our country, 500,000 people are sick because of the vaccinations. like really sick. And that's a lot of people in that. We live in one of the smallest countries in the world. And it's a lot of people. So, and that's what I hate about it, the whole thing. And that's why I wrote the song about it.
No, yeah, no, that makes total sense. And I've talked to different artists on how their countries handle the situation. And yeah, there's different areas. So you said the Hangman. You said did I hear Dave Murray from Iron Maiden?
Yeah, what I said was this. I said, our guitar player
Oh,
Dave.
yeah, because I'm like, wait, I didn't see Dave Murray was in the album.
No. Our guitar player Dave, he played the guitar solos on that song, but he played them in a way that it sounds like if Dave Murray from Iron Maiden was.
Oh, right.
It's
Yeah,
super melodic. It's super fast. It's this typical fluent style that reminds me of Dave Murray of Iron Maiden. But of
yeah,
course,
he's got his own, like he's very fast playing. Like you can listen to it and you know that it's him. So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
You had your own Dave moment. So
Yeah.
yeah, the album has different, it's like different like subject matter that we've discussed. So yeah, it's interesting. And you took you with God Dethroned, you take your time because the last album was in 2020, which I assume that it had to suck to put an album out that year. On this tour, are you going to play a lot of material from that album as well, or are you going to focus on the new one too?
I want to focus on both. Of course, the main focus will be the new album. Like 50% of the show probably is new album, something like that. But I also want to play songs from the previous album because it was released 1 month before the pandemic broke out.
Yeah.
We were lucky to finish one European tour because when the album came out, we started touring immediately. So we were lucky to finish one tour. But then nothing happened for 2 years. So all the bands who released an album during the pandemic, their albums drowned completely into nothingness because people were not able to see the band live.
Yeah, no.
So it was very frustrating for me. I also was not able to write new songs during the pandemic because I felt so disappointed about the fact that we put a great album out, but for nobody, because okay, people could listen to it online and order the CD, but everybody knows that during the pandemic nothing really happened.
Yeah,
so
it's not the same. A lot of people buy an album after they see the band live.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was a lost album. It was very disappointing. It took a lot of energy from me. It took a lot of fun away from playing. It took all my motivation away to write new songs. So it took a while before I was in the right mood again to write new songs and to record new songs. That's why it took more than 4 years before the new album was released.
But I'm guessing it also fueled your fire because being pissed, it fueled because this album it's extreme and angry at times, but it's also very melodic. It's a very melodic and angry album at the same time. It really fluctuates for me.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of frustration being put in some of the songs, so making it aggressive. But we are always using melodic guitar lines, melodic harmonies. We are a melodic band, and we sometimes put the melody in an atmospheric song, and sometimes we put the melody in an extreme aggressive song. We want to be diverse. We want to put all the emotion on the album. So it's always going to be a mix between atmosphere and aggression.
Oh yeah, and that makes sense. So when is the European tour going to start?
It's going to start on September 26th until October 28th. So it's a full month. We are supporting Batushka and Ultimas. I think it will be a great tour. Batushka also will release a new album around that time. And we will have a new album out, so there's a lot of new stuff to promote. All the bands have a good name in Europe, so I think it should be a good tour.
Yeah. What is your favorite part about touring?
My favorite part is the fact that I'm playing in my band. We play a show every day. I like that. I like being in a tour bus because it feels cozy and at home. Sometimes, of course, it's very busy and it's too hot and it's like annoying. But most of the time, it's like feeling at home with a big family because we're all musicians. We're all having a good time, you know. And the other thing is, I prefer to play shows every day for a month and then go home and do different things versus playing every weekend and being away from home every
It takes
weekend.
longer, yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's why I like touring a bit more.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense because if you only tour on the weekend, then it's going to be a more longer time,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of time in between that you wouldn't be doing anything or like
Yeah.
more traveling, so makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh so yeah, the album is out September 6th, so next week. I'll post the link for people who want to pre-order the album. So Henry, before I let you go, what would you like to say, to the fans?
Well, you know, to all the fans who already know God Dethroned, thank you for supporting us all these years. I want you to enjoy the new album. I think it's worthwhile listening to. And all the people who have never checked out God Dethroned, please do so. I think the new album is something you might really like a lot. And I'm looking forward to play Latin America again somewhere next year.
Yeah, no, the touring in the States from Europe, what's the most different thing because I've been to shows only in the States and Puerto Rico, but never in Europe. So I don't know what the difference would be.
The difference is that the distances in the United States are
Oh,
bigger.
yeah.
So in Europe, sometimes it's a very long drive, but usually it's not a very long drive. So, you know, you play the show, everybody gets the stuff back in the tour bus, and then the driver drives to the next show during the night. The next morning you wake up, you're already there. It's easy. In the States, it's like long drives, arriving late, getting everything on stage and play, you know? That's different. But I like the States. I like the distances. I like the spaciness of touring the States. I like the audience in the United States. It's completely different people compared to Europe. So I like it both, but I like the difference because it makes life so special. And of course, touring the US is expensive because you need to fly there. You need work visas, otherwise you cannot play in the country. So it's a costly business, but I love to go there because yeah, it's just a great country as well.
Who knows? Maybe one day God Dethroned can play here in Puerto Rico. We have a lot of extreme metal bands play here. I think we Rotting Christ at play here, Behemoth. We have some more bands come here to play. So yeah, it's a it's a cool day. It's cool. Plus, it's cool. You can go here to the beach and and enjoy the tropical warm weather.
Yeah.
That you don't have that it's like very different from Europe. So Henry,
Yeah.
I want to thank you, for joining me today virtually from your house to my couch and talk about the new God Dethroned album, the Judas Paradox, out September the 6th, people. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.